Today we are going to be learning about our first type of conic section, which is called a circle. So first thing we want to do is begin by defining what exactly is a circle. A circle, we are going to say, is the set of all points in a plane. And when we say plane, we're thinking about like x comma y, so a flat graph that are a given distance from a given point. Within that, we can actually define a couple of those phrases. We're going to go ahead and call that given distance the radius, and we're going to call that given point the center. So those are the two important features of a circle. And in your problems today, you're going to have some problems that give you a graph, and from that graph, you want to find the radius and center, and you're going to have other problems that give you the radius and center, and you want to create those into a graph. So let's look at some examples of these types of problems. So we'll start with ones that give us the features and we want to plot the graph. So this point in the middle is draggable, so I can click on that and drag it around. That point is the center. So I want to put that point at x is 1.5 and y is 3. Pay attention to your scaling on these. This one's counting by 1/2. Sometimes I count by 1, sometimes I count by 2s. So x is 1.5, y is 3. And my radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So I can pull this circle sideways, I can pull this circle up and down, I can actually pull this circle on an angle as well. So I want to grab onto the circle and drag it until it has a distance from that center point out to the circle line of 1/2 of a unit. Now remember our scaling, each box does measure 1/2. So there's our little tiny circle. Our other kind of problem today, you are going to be given a graph and asked two questions about it. What is the center? And then it'll give us a point that it passes through, and it wants us to say what is the radius. So now for these, I'm going to try to mark up on the screen here. You can kind of just eyeball, use a sheet of paper or a ruler to kind of find the center. Where does it look like the middle of this circle is going to be as I draw in both of those axis lines through there? And it looks like our center is going to be located at the point of x is -4 and y is 5. And then our radius, since a radius can be measured in any direction, we can look for that radius going out to the side or up and down. We could think about it sideways, but it is more difficult to think about sideways because then we're looking at having to solve like a Pythagorean theorem kind of problem, since that would be on an angle. So instead of trying to measure it out sideways, I'm going to measure it out diagonally. I'm going to measure it out either sideways or up and down, and it should be the same either way, and we see a radius of 2. So then we can choose those two options from the multiple choice questions. So today, after watching this video, there will be a short quiz for you to answer about the content of this video, and then tomorrow you will work on these two assignments.